Hi, so this is Mrs. Fleener, and I wanted to go over what you are going to be doing today in your breakout rooms. So today you're going to be doing a narrative analysis of the sample student narrative that you were to read before class today. So let me go over how to do that and what's expected. So when you go into Canvas, you will click on your module, this week's module, and you will scroll down to narrative analysis. Click on narrative analysis. You will read through this, which basically tells you you're going to be analyzing a student mentor text to help us understand what the elements of a narrative are, what we expect you to have when you write your narrative. You're going to make a copy, but before you do, make sure you understand what it is that you are going to do. So once you've made your copy, you're going to go through in your breakout rooms and work together on highlighting the setting in green and then making comments on your Google Doc, kind of like talking to the text about the setting. You're going to make notes pertaining to the setting, answering questions like, what is the setting of the story in the first 4 paragraphs? Find details, when and where the events occurred. You'll highlight those and you'll comment. That'll be in green. The second thing you're going to do is highlight in yellow the narrator. You're going to figure out who is the narrator. You're going to highlight who the narrator is. And how do you know? And you're going to comment on how do you know who that narrator is. What other major character is introduced in the beginning of the story? You're gonna talk to the text about that, and what can you infer about both of these characters? So those are things that you're going to talk to the text about. And I'll show you how to comment and talk to text there. And then the last thing you're going to do is highlight each event in blue. So there's a number of events that happen in this story. And there's a time order. This happens, and then this happens, and then the next thing happens. And you are going to highlight each of those events in blue and make any sort of comments or talking to the text on that. Now, you should have already read this first, so you shouldn't have to spend all your time reading the whole thing. You can kind of go through from what you'd read before and talk through that. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to click on this student sample. You're going to make a copy. Up here, I want to remind you that it says copy of taking the shot. You're going to get rid of copy of, and you're going to put your name, not my name, your name in here. And the period you are in, and I'm just going to go ahead and put period 0, but you put the period you're in. So that way you can save it, and it will be saved in your language arts folder, which I don't have a language arts folder, but you can scroll down there, find your language arts folder and put it there. That way you know where it is when you turn it in. You should be doing that with all your Google Docs that you turn in. So now what you had to do was highlight the setting in green, and it talked about this being in the first 4 paragraphs, 1 paragraph, 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, 4 paragraphs. So we're going to highlight. Here's your highlight color, and you're going to do that in green. So when you find anything pertaining to the where is it, the when and where, you are going to highlight that. So you may have to go back and reread, or at least, kind of read quickly. So right now I'm going to go ahead and highlight the basketball during gym class. Okay, and actually I don't want basketball as part of that. I just want gym class. So I'm going to highlight that, and I'm going to go up here and I'm going to highlight that in green because that's part of where it is. Okay, I might also say, oh, it's in front of the net, specifically. And I will highlight that. Now, I'm not going to do all this for you. These are just the first few things. You'll notice over here that there's something that says comment. If you want to add a comment at that point, you can. Otherwise, it does ask what is the setting? Where did it happen? So you may want to add a comment This is obviously, oops, sorry. This is obviously during gym class on the basketball court. Now you might want, we don't know a time period yet, and then you click on comment, and that will comment over here, and then you can keep going. So you're going to comment. This is like talking to the text. You can also say other things. There's going to be other things. I see, that there's bleachers involved. There may be other things about the where and the when that you're going to comment on. The next thing you're going to do once you've gone through the setting part of doing that, you're going to highlight the narrator in yellow, and then you're going to talk to the text about that. And in the character analysis page, if I bring this back over here real quick, just so you can see, in the character analysis page, it says, who is the story's narrator and how do you know? What other major characters are introduced? What can you infer? So you're going to highlight the narrator in yellow. You're going to comment on how do you know that this is the narrator? And then you're also going to make comments or talking to the text about other characters. Okay. So as I move that over here, I may come over here and I'm going to go, oh, well, who is, I don't know who is. Is it Kyle? Is it the sister? I'm not sure who it is. You guys have to figure that out. But let's just say that it's Kyle, and I'm not saying it is. Then you might say, oh, okay, well, then I'm going to highlight that one in yellow, and you'll go do that. And you'll tell me this is why I think that. Now, I'm not telling you that's right or wrong, so you have to figure that out.